The man, the myth, the legend, Oda surprises us once again. This might be my all-time favorite chapters, everybody. Like, not only did we get the final villain of One Piece, some people may disagree, some people say Blackbeard, but it doesn't matter. Not only did we get that in this chapter, but we got Robin in a maid outfit. All in one chapter. All rounder, baby. Like, fan service and actual fan service. Win-win, everybody. Emu, in this chapter, this early on, like, I know people say, like, oh, we've been waiting so long, but this early, I did not expect this guy. This might be an all-timer for Oda. He did this back at Egghead, right? Like, I did not think all the 5 elders are just gonna show up just like that. And they just like that. There's a lot of things to talk about in this chapter, so if you guys can skip ahead if you want, like, the different chapters in this, you're gonna see in the description or something like that, because there's a lot of things to talk about, like, a lot of things to talk about. Let's start with the Gunko and Brook collection. And I'm just gonna say, I told ya. I told ya. I told ya. I told ya. This chapter proves a lot of our theories, right, regarding Brook and Gonko's connection, them knowing each other before Brook actually became a pirate. That's a big one. Like, in the flashback we saw, we're not 100% sure it's Gonko, but if it is Gonko, I don't know, man. Saul, Robin, Brook, Gonko? Usopp? What are you gonna do? Like, I'm actually curious. Oh, bro, those poor Usopps, man. I made a video about this. Those poor Usopp fans. This is not your art. Because it feels like all the latter parts of the Straw Hat crew are getting their shine. Jinbei, he put out the fire. Robin, Saul, Frankie might be, getting together with Lilith. I don't know. But Brook might have a daughter. Maybe not Brook's daughter. The theory I mentioned in that video as well, that I think it's Yorkie's daughter, can still be correct, because she was not screaming, oh, is that my father? She said, is that Brook? Kind of like, oh, is that my father's right-hand man? Essentially, her uncle. Something like that. This man saw the reaction on the Kuma backstory, Kuma and Bonnie backstory, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna top that. Yorkie's daughter, or it might be another member of the Rumbar Pirates, but we don't know any other member. We don't even care. It might be Yorkie. It might be Brook's daughter. I don't know. Like, once again, I'm not ready for another flashback. Please, Oda, please don't do it again. Can we just have this, maybe push along, you know what I'm saying? The anime is still going on with the Kuma backstory, and I'm still crying after that. I do not need another one, please. Please, Oda. That would make Gonko 60-ish? Or, like, 80-ish? If Yorkie was the same age as Brook, like 39, and she was like 17, 16, that will make her around like 70 or 60, something like that. I don't want to do math because I just finished my final exam, so I'm gonna just say 60 to 70-ish. But she doesn't look 60 to 70-ish. She looks 17 to 25-ish. Does Marijoa have the most expensive healthcare in the One Piece universe, and that's what keeping them alive? It's probably Imu's powers, the Abyss powers. We all know that. But Seraph, if Gonko doesn't age, what about Summers? What about Garling? They age. Again, this is just a theory. What if some God Knights aren't really God's Knights? Maybe some God's Knights, like Gonko, are dead God's Knights. Maybe some of them act like a vessel for Imu, like the 5 Gorosei. Like, they don't age, and maybe that's why Gonko's eyes are different, different colors, because one of them, maybe it symbolized that she isn't a full God Knight, a semi-God Knight. She's dead, but unlike Summers and Garling, who age, they're full God Knights. Maybe this explains why Imu, didn't possess Summers and heal him up, and just goes straight to Gonko, because, Summers isn't a vessel God Knight, but Gonko is. Again, who knows? But this is big. That means old characters can become young characters, and then maybe if we found out Gonko was actually dead, and the 5 Gorosei are actually dead, what does this mean for future God's Knight? I'm gonna make a video about that. Can dead characters become God Knights even though they resist? Because we saw Gonko resisting the Abyss powers. Oh, is that Brook? Imu's like, man, I'm gonna control you. Does that mean other characters are gonna be controlled? Other dead characters? Does this give a possibility for rocks to be a holy knight. I'm just saying, Ace, Whitebeard, they can be god knight. We saw this from Naruto in the final arc. Reanimation jutsu. Are they gonna bring that? Are they gonna bring that back in One Piece? I don't know. The possibility are endless. We still don't know, but we know she's gonna be really old. Or then Imu's like, oh, let me revert you, which is kind of weird. Or she's dead, and Imu just gives her the powers. And then what if Imu gets it back? She will die, like Saturn. How he died, maybe something like that. Again, there's a lot of questions we still don't know the answer. Cause like, oh, why didn't just Imu control Loki and like possess Loki or something? Possess Luffy and just get it done. God Knight save some time. But speaking of time, is time moving more slowly in Elbaf? That's one of the theories. Like long ago when Louis Arnold was like, oh, do not overstay your welcome here. Man, dude, shut up, man. You're dead. Like, I know this theory is kind of dead because we saw Gabon is there. Like, he looks fine. He looks like he does. He looks like the same age as Rayleigh. But that's Gabon. Like, that's the same guy who just cut up Summers into a million pieces. So it doesn't count, okay? Gabon is like an exception because he knows something. He probably knows a cure for it. He probably knows already. That's why he was about to tell the Straw Hats, like, oh, can I talk to you guys? And that was before the God's Knights ever arrived. Because Imu says something in this chapter. It's like, oh, why are you guys taking so long? And he's obviously impatient because the God's Knights haven't completed their mission. But Shamrock was called in like very, very early on. And that kind of like, maybe time is moving faster outside the world. Because the progression of the Holy Land being destroyed is fast. Maybe Dragon. I don't. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Who's attacking the Holy Land? But this might be a clever way for Oda to just speed up the One Piece world. For every characters and all the unexplained plot holes. Just to be faster and fall to place in these last few arcs because there's a lot of things going on. Buggy trying to get the One Piece. The Revolutionary Army, they're trying to attack the Holy Land. We know Blackbeard's trying to attack the Holy Land. This is a cool way for everything to speed things up, because we need to know what the other characters are doing, and we still don't know where they're going at. I don't know what I just said. Let me just clip that. I don't know what I just said. So I like this theory of like Elbaf moving slowly. It can be like a mini time skip for not just Elbaf, just for the whole world to just catch up for the Straw Hats. Like, where is Law? Where is Kid? Who knows? That Louis Arnott, quote is killing me. Like, do not overstay your welcome. What happened to you? Where's Louis Arnott, okay? Like, did he become undead? Did he become a vampire? What's the do not say your welcome here, okay? I don't get it. Okay, I don't know what it means. Maybe we'll talk about it in next episode, but let's see. The final thing we're going to talk about is who is attacking the Holy Land. And honestly, there's no wrong answers. I mean, there are, but like, there's two factions right now we know is attacking the Holy Land, and one is Dragon and the Revolutionary, and the other is the Blackbeard Pirates. You can say, oh, Blackbeard is attacking the Holy Land, and I would agree with you. But Dragon needs to be there. And if the Revolutionary Army are attacking the Holy Land, Blackbeard Pirates should be there. Okay, so that's why I'm saying there's no wrong answer. Because if you have one character who's there, you have the other character being there as well. So, because we know Dragon's planning to raid the Holy Land after he found out the ancient weapons just destroys everybody. We know Blackbeard is doing it as well when he, Katrina Devon copied Saturn's face. But I don't know, Saturn is dead, so maybe they'll find out. Let's see. That's why I said you're not wrong if you pick the other one who is attacking the Holy Land, because both factions are gonna be there, okay, 100%, okay. But right now, I think the first one who I think engaged is the Revolutionary Army, because Sabo already told them that someone sits upon the empty throne, and that person is Imu, and we also know that Sabo told them they have possession of an ancient weapon who just wiped out an entire island, for God's sake. And Sabo saw that, look at Lulusia, okay? And after Vegapunk's message, obviously Vegapunk and Dragon were kind of close. Maybe Dragon and the Revolutionary Army finally was like, oh, we're gonna do something, okay? Fuck, F this, like, oh, cut their food sources. That's so dumb, man. Man, let's just rush into it like my grandpa and like my son. Boom. But you know what would be so funny? All these Dragons fans are celebrating like, yay, Yay! It's finally dragon. If it's not dragon, bro, when they fight, when it turns out to be Blackbeard, they will cry. They will fall to their knees, bro. Poor revolutionary army. Hopefully, it's the revolutionary because that means like they're probably, on the offensive this time. I mean, they already attacked Marijua. It's kind of funny like they're attacking Marijua again because now, but there's a lot of things that progress right now. Vegapunk's message, the ancient weapons. Sabo literally just saw an entire island just wipe out, just like that. So let's see next chapter. There's no break next week. If you watch till the end, like it, man. I don't really care, but just appreciate small creators. I'm trying to just build this thing up. I love you guys. Real one, say it back.